Welcome to the fastest daf in town. Today on Masechtas Shavuos daf Beis. We're going to begin, of course, at the beginning of the Masechta on Beis, but Alf with the Mishnah. Says the Masechta Shavuos Shtaim Shein Arba. Now, first of all, right out of the gate, a lot of people think that this is a Masechta which talks about the holiday of Shavuos. And it's actually quite interesting because this Masechta actually goes up until daf Mem Tes Amud Beis. So there's certainly connections, but of course it has nothing to do with the holiday, but it's to do with making a shvuah. So we saw in Masechtas Nedarim that there's a fundamental difference between a neder and a shvuah. When it comes to a neder, you're making a vow on the object. You're asking, for example, an object on you. A shvuah is on you yourself. And therefore, because of that, there are major distinctions between the dinim of a neder and a shvuah. Now, the truth is, when we're referring to a shvuah, Rashi says it's b'shvuos bidoi savosayim. We're talking about where a person speaks improperly with their lips. As it's brought down, there's a chiv carbon oil v'yoyred, that a person has to bring a carbon depending on one's financial status. Now, it says that there's two times of two shvuos, which is 4. So, what does it mean that there's 2, which is 4? So Rashi says, Shtayim ksibikra. 2 of them are mentioned in the psukim, good or bad. Mafarish b'mishnah, and it's explained like this: Oichel lahetiv, lo oichel lahara. So basically, I'm making a shvuah of I will eat, I will not eat. So that is what we're referring to in the Torah itself. Anything in which it's a positive or a negative, and it's referring to in the future. I will not eat, I will eat. So that's what it's referring to. So what is the Shehein Arba? Says Rashi, Yeshul Rabos Mariboy Haksuvim K'Mefarish Per Gimel Avdavar B'Chilufa L'Sha'avar. Also regarding things that have happened already. Kegon achalti, I ate. V'hu lo achal, but he really didn't eat. Oh, lo achalti v'achal. Now the chiddush over here is that there's really 2 separate things. One is when it's talking about l'sha'avar, so b'shas, the shvuah, you already were wrong at the time of the shvuah. As opposed to lahaba, in which l'mafreya, it'll determine that your shvuah you broke. So that's the point. Question 9. Shavuos, right away. Shavuos shtayim shehein arba. Mehem hashnayim diksiv, u'mehem arba diyasu midrash v'shavuos. So, the 2 are the shavuos hein v'lav, the lahaba. Going oichel v'oichel. I will eat, I won't eat. From the Medrash, it's past tense. Going to chalti v'chalti. So there, since we're talking about the past tense, that's not referring to the psukim, but rather it's the koyach derasha. And this is the same as question TB 27. So if I wrote, I will eat, I won't eat, right? So that's with atid, and that's from the psukim. From Medrash is I ate, I didn't eat. Okay, that's correct. All right, let's keep going. We got to go faster than this, right? Yediyas hatuma shtayim shein arba. Actually, we're only going to see the Mishnah today. It's the whole daf. When it comes to Yediyas hatuma, it's all, what is Yediyas hatuma? That you realized that you were tamei when you entered, let's say, into the Beis Hamikdash. So says Rashi, chiv carbon oiv yored. Also, here's a chiv of an oil v'yared, machmas tumas mikdash v'kedayshav, that if you're tamei, or you're something which is tamei, haksuv eitzel shuas bitoi, o nefesh kisi gaviyalfinim bepirkin sheinikas medaber ella betumas mikdash v'kedashav, shenichdas, which means shenichdas b'shoygeg l'mikdash, acher tumazu, or achol basar kodesh. So either it's talking about you entered into the Beis Hamikdash while you're tamei, or you ate basar, which was kodesh, in the state of tumah. So that's 2. and those are written beferish in the psukim and vayikra v'nelam imenu v'hu tamei, you were tamei, right? So the fact is that you were tamei, and the mistake was that you ate something which was kodesh. But shehin arba yeshul rabos min hamikra od shnei chiyuvim helam kodesh helam mikdash v'zachahu es hatuma. In other words, that not that you were tamei, but it was tamei. So therefore, that was the recognition. Believe it or not, question 10. Yediyas atuma shtaim shein arba mehem shtaim d'chsivi mehem arba diyos midrasha. So shtaim d'tuma helim tuma v'achol kodesh u'nechnas l'mikdash. Right, you forgot that you were tamei, or the medrash marbinan elam kodesh v'helim mikdash. Not that you forgot. I mean, didn't say it right. Not that you forgot that you were tamei, but you forgot that this was this was kodesh, or you forgot that this was a Beis Hamikdash, right? You forgot that this was a Makom Kodesh. So that's the other interpretation. That's what Yedias Hatoma is. Okay. And then we also have Morris the Goyim Shnaim Shein Marba. So when it comes, I missed one. Yesias Shabbos Shnaim Shein Marba. Also, when it comes to Yesias Shabbos, the beginning of Masechta Shabbos, it talks about Hoitzah, about carrying something outside. Also achnasa, bringing it in. Says Rashi, Hoitzim Rishus Yachar Rishus Rabim. So that's a din deraisa. Madam in a mikra shechayim beperik zayrik. It says the famous parak v'yotze Moshe v'yaviru kol machna v'lo tapikum Rishus Yachar Rishus Rabim. So you cannot go and take things out from Rishus Yachar into Rishus Rabim. Zer shtayim, so that's 2. Achas u'oimed b'chutz v'hoishit yodel lifnim. One is you're outside and you bring it inside from Rishus Yachid into Rishus Rabim. V'notel chayfetz v'hoitzil chutz, and you're in the Rishus Yachid Rishus Rabim. You stuck your hand into the Rishus Hayachid and you grabbed the pen and you brought it out. V'notel chayfetz v'hoitzil chutz. So that's 1. And the second is v'achas u'oimed b'fnim. You physically start off inside. And you take an object from your hands and you bring it outward. So either you're outside and you bring something from the Rishus, both of them are from the Rishus Yachid, but either you are in the Rishus Harabim and you put your hand into Rishus Yachid, you grab a pen and you bring it out to the Rishus Harabim, or you're physically in the Rishus Yachid itself. Shehin arba yesh lumayd. So this all has to do with hoitzah, of taking things from Rishus Hayachid into Rishus Harabim. The other 4 is, says Rashi, shekashem shakpei the Torah Rishus l'Rishus b'hoitzah, which is the 2 kachach bida b'achnasa. So too when it comes to achnasa. So again, if you just flip it around, you're outside and you have something in your hand and you put it inside. Or you're inside and you take something from the outside and you bring it inside. Okay, there's no question about that. Let's keep going. That's you see Shabbos Shnaim Shein Arba. Maris the Goyim Shnaim Shein Arba. So too when it comes to dinam of saras, there's 2 different types of saras. To mechayev a carbon. One is se'es and one is baheras. Okay. So Rashi says that there's also a tolda of se'es and there's a tolda of baheras. Okay, so that's that. All right. So again, there's 2 and 2, which is 4, and we find this by numerous different things. Okay, Mars the Goyim Shem Shem. So esh yesh bo yediyah b'tchila of yediyah b'soif. Sometimes you can have a person that and the guy is tamei the whole time. And what happened was, he knew that he was tamei before he entered, let's say, into the Beis Hamikdash, or before he came in contact with Hekdesh, v'yediyah b'soif. And he also knew at the end, says Rashi, yediyah b'tchila is shiyada shenit, he knew he was tamei, and he also knew misha'achal es ha'kodesh behelim or nichnas al mikdash. He knew that at that time v'yatsa v'noidelo shebatuma achal Obatoma Nechnas. So the guy had Yediyah Satoma straight through, so Vehelim bin Atayim, but actually in the middle there was some forgetfulness. Harizeb Oil Yard. That is a case of Oil Yard. So you can almost envision like a sandwich. That there was Yediyah Satoma at the beginning and the end, but not in the middle. So then, at that time, there was Yerchayv Oil Yard. It says Rashi, Vehelim bin Atayim, Kish'achal Sakaidish. When you actually ate the thing, that's when it was forgotten. So in that situation, says Rashi, Zel Lashon Oil Yared, L'hasher Oil Ani Yared. So again, obviously, the wealthy person, based on your financial situation, you'll give more or less, okay, or more expensive carbon. Okay. So the only time we have the din of Oiv Yared again is he knew that he was Tameh, and he knew B'Saif as well, but at the time when he was Taka eating it, at that moment, so that was in between, if you will, he didn't know. Now, Yeshma Yediyah B'Tchila, there's some people that you knew that you were Tameh right away before. However, there's no Yediyah at the end. Then Sir Hanasa Bifnim, then the din is you have to bring a carbon sa'ir, Bifnim, says Rashi, Shloishas Irim Nasin Latzibor B'Yom Kippurim. There's actually 3 Se'irim that were brought on Yom Kippur. Echad Matan Damo Yivnim. One, the blood was sprinkled in the inside. V'chavero Mishtalach LaZazel. And its friend, out of the Shnei Se'irim, through the Garel, one is LaShem and one is LaZazel. And then there was another Se'ir that was actually where Makravit on the outside as part of the Musaf. So we say that is the Sir Hanas Mifnim V'Yom Kippurim Toila Ad Shiyaydelo V'Yaviyu Ovi Yored. So we say that because there was no Yediyah B'Sof, so therefore once he achieves Yediyah B'Sof, then he will be mechuyev to bring an Ovi Yored. However, until that time we hang him, so to speak. Says Rashi, will hug in a Yisurin, so he's like protected on some level. Fine. Until, says Rashi, she'achal kodesh b'tom. Once you know that you actually b'soif that you ate, then you will bring an Ovi Yard. Ein bo yediyah b'tchil. Well, let's say you didn't know at the beginning of yesh bo yediyah b'sof. Sir nas b'chutz Yom Kippur b'chaper. So then in that case we have the sir hanas b'chutz, and Yom Kippur will be b'chaper. Okay. Shenemar. So again, you have to hold cup which one is which. So Shenemar, the pasuk says, Milvad chatas hakipurim, excluding the chatas on Yom Kippur, al ma shezesh mechaper zeh, al ma shezeh mechaper zeh mechaper. On what this is mechaper, this is mechaper. Ma panimi in mechaper el al davar ma panimi in mechaper el al davar sheish ba yediyah. So we said that the panimi is only mechaper when there is yediyah. Afachitzin in mechaper el al davar sheish ba yediyah. So you actually have to have yediyah. Ve'al she'ein ba yediyah lo b'tchila lo b'soy. Fine. So that's what we're saying. Okay. So let's look at Rashi. Seir nas mifnim. So we already did that. Fine. The al she'ein bo yediyah lo b'chil lo b'soy. If there was no yediyah, then sir haragolim v'sir rosh chodesh mechaper. Then we have the sir for the holidays and on Rosh Chodesh, that will be mechaper. Dibur Rabbi Yehuda. Shimon Omer, sir haragolim mechaper. You're right. Now when it comes to the sir haragolim, that is mechaper, a person who has no recollection at all at the beginning and at the end. So again, he holds the first shita is that you have the Sir Golem and Rosh Chodesh. However, Shimon Omer Sir Golem mechaperin avolo Sir Rosh Chodashim. V'alma Siri Rosh Chodashim mechaperin. You're going to tell me that Taka it's not mechaper for this for Yediyah Satoma. So then, what does it do? Like, what is the purpose of the Siri Rosh Chodesh? What is it mechaper? So as we continue to Beis and Beis. Al hatar she'oichos tamei. It's referring to someone who actually is tahor, ate something which is tamei. Not this case. If this is the person who's tamei. Rameir oimer kol asirin kaparasin shava al tumas mikdash v'kedashav. that when it comes to all the seirim, the kapara is the same. Fine. He said that really the Sirosh Chodesh again is only mechaper for the person who was tahar that ate tameh, the shower golim, and for the holidays that seir is mechaper al she'en bo yediyah lo b'chil b'sof. V'shel Yom Kippurim mechaper al she'en bo yediyah b'chil v'lo yesh bo yediyah b'sof. Okay. Amrulo ma'al she'yikru zeh b'zeh. So he says, what's the din? Can you be makar of one for the other? So Amulahen Yikru, go ahead. So Amul Hoyel ve'in kapara so shava, since they don't have the same kapara, carbon zebazet. How could that work? So Amulahem Kulin Boyin l'chaper al tumas mikdash v'gedayshav. They actually have the link that they're both. Their purpose is to be mechaper for tumas mikdash v'gedayshav. Mishimim Yehuda Omer Mishmoi Seira shechadash mechaper al tahar she'achal asatame. That the purpose of the carbon seir of Rosh Chodesh is mechaper for someone who is tahar that ate she'achal asatame. Moisav aleihin shor golim. So we add on to this shemechaper al tahar she'achal asatame. Yal she'en bo yediyah b'chil b'sof. If there's no yediyah at all by yediyah satoma, so moisav aleihin shel Yom Kippurim she'mechaper that thou will be metaher thou will be mechaper al tahar she'achal asatame. V'al she'en bo yediyah lo b'tchila b'sof, v'al she'en bo yediyah b'tchila v'lo yesh bo yediyah b'sof, amru lo mahu shikru v'zeh b'zeh. So how about that? If you have these two things, so amru lehen, hein, yes, amru lo yim kein yeh shel Yom Kippurim kareibim b'Rosh Chodashim. The one for Yom Kippur should be makam in Rosh Chodesh. Aval heich shel Rosh Chodashim kareibim b'Yom Kippurim. How could the one for Rosh Chodesh mechaper Yom Kippur l'chaper kapara sheinu shalah? Amlehen kulan boin l'chaper al tumas mitzvah kedusha. They're all coming to be mechaper again for a person who is tamei, who entered into the Beis Hamikdash, or behelm davar. They'll zadayin tumas mikdash kedusha. Sir hanas mifnim Yom Kippur mechaperin al shar avero shibatayra hakalos lachamara is strict or lenient. As danos or shkagos haida v'haida os asay v'los asay. So the din is that krisos umisas based in seir mishtalech mechaper echad Yisrael ve'echad kohanim ve'echad kohen Mashiach. Ma bein Yisrael and l'kohanim l'kohen Mashiach. So ela shehapar mechaper al hakohanim al tumas mikdash. Shimon Omer Kashem Shedam Hasair Hanasa Bifnim Mechaper al Yisrael Kach Dam Hapar Mechaper al HaKohanim. So it's also Mechaper for the Kohanim. Kashem Sheviduin Shel Ser Mishtalech Mechaper al Yisrael Kach Vidui Shel Pia Shel Par Mechaper al Kohanim. So if it's mechaper for the Yisrael, it can also be mechaper for the Kohanim as well. This is obviously a very lengthy Mishnah, which we're going to analyze a little bit more. We're going to be stopping here, but let's look at a couple more questions. Question 11. Seir Hanasa Bifnim. The Seir Hanasa Bifnim. The question is Al Mahu Ba Litlois O Chaper. What is it coming for? So it's this. So it does say a little bit over here, straight up. It says on Daf Beis Amud Aleph that when you have a situation of the Sir Hanas Bifnim, for Yom Kippur, so it says Yesh bo Yediyah b'tchil ve'in bo Yediyah b'soif. So this is what they want. Shtayim. So the answer for question 11 is Al Tumas Mikdash Kedayshav Shahayu Yediyah b'tchil v'lo b'sof. Right. That when it comes to Yediyah Satuma, there was Yediyah at the beginning. There's no Yediyah at the end. Yal Hamezid Hu Mechaper. So, fine. Question TB 28. Nope. TA 26. Rameir Omer Kol HaSeirin Kaparasan Shava. Elu Seirin Ezasir Lo Nechlal B'zeh. So Rameir holds that all of them are the same, and Ad kan.